it was fucking insane, Alex. I can't even describe to you. Like when it got, I remember when we got to the point of like Spitgate, we were like, okay,
oh
what?
my God, I forgot about that.
Do you remember that?
Wait, wasn't it like they thought that you spit on someone?
They thought that Harry spat on Chris Pine, and it really looked like it. It was really funny. We like did the Venice Film Festival. We're like, that was fun. And we flew home and we got to New York, and then it was like, you guys did Harry, did you spit on Chris? And we were like, what? And they're like, look at this video. It really, and we looked and we're like, okay, fair enough. That looks
kind of low-key looked like it.
It was like this weird optical illusion. But the fact that then it turned into this massive thing, I was like, okay, we've tilted into a world of like insane, complete surrealism.
The slow-mo videos.
Yeah.
The analyzing.
I
forgot
like
about that.
Zapruder. Yeah, it was like
the biggest thing in the world.
It was the biggest. And again, it must have been that like America was trying to avoid its own pain because that must have been an escape. But it was, one of the most fucked up things that I went through among so many was that I was served papers on stage. And I'll just say that now with enough space behind it, the part that I can laugh at is that obviously it was incredibly traumatizing. There's so many elements to that, but I get through it because weirdly, as women, we're taught to muscle through the most insane experiences. I was like, just finish your speech. Got through it. It went backstage completely like dissolved into a puddle. But then I was like, no one saw it because there's no phones allowed in this event. And so that is, no one saw it. Oh, what's that? It's already up on page 6. There's a video. Okay. Well, no one's going to look because like no one's paying attention. And then I remember like a couple months later, I met Tom Cruise. And he was like, hi, I'm Tom. Fucked up what happened to you in Vegas. And I was like, no.
You were like, I convinced myself, Tom, that no one knew. Why are you talking to me?
All right,
Olivia,
got it.
No, you've had like a crazy fucking... Bro, that moment, did you ever get clarity on like if it was purposeful or not?
No.
Okay.
I had... Basically, I know Jason has told me that he did not know, and I need to believe that in order to continue. And you know, I think that lawyers can be super fucked up and do fucked up things, and I'm aware of that, and all of it is you know. But I think that people are never their best selves when they're engaging in that kind of process, and it was so fucked up in so many ways. I know that whether or not he knew it was going to happen, I know it really hurt him to see it happening to me. Like, I think it was undeniable that it was like a fucked up thing. And I know he felt very, very bad that it happened to me. It was a moment that I ended up doing a lot of therapy about, still kind of do. There's the feeling of being on stage, you know, like that is a vulnerable feeling. Also, that room couldn't have been higher stress. The people in that room at CinemaCon are all it's all the studio people. So it's all the people you were trying to like impress the most with your work, and all the exhibitors, the people at the movie theaters, the people you need to sell your movies, and all the press. And it was like, I cannot fucking believe this is happening to me here. And yet, you know, the crazy thing is like, once you make it through things like that, you kind of feel like you can make it through anything.
I want to ask you so much about the movie. I have 2 more questions that I think are kind of pertinent to like what we've been discussing, especially as a woman. I need to hear just your take on men who are in positions of power, date younger women all the time. Like is, and everyone's like, and?
Yeah.
Like there's no question. What do you think was so triggering to people seeing you dating a man that they deemed you the position of power and the older woman? Like, what was it there that you think was upsetting to people?
Oh, man. I don't know. It really did upset people, though.
The resentment, the suspicion of you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It was crazy. I don't know how much I understand it yet. That's one of the factors that I never really felt like I fully, I don't know. I mean, I know that it has existed for a long time in our society. Like, I understand it had very little to do with me. It is something that we've done this to women for a long time. Why is it? I don't know. People were fucking pissed. I think that I think that it also had a lot to do with the kind of parasocial relationship people have with him, which is a burden that is very weighty and not something I envy, and he carries it with grace. I think that is an enormous responsibility that all those like stars have to carry, and it's fucking impossible. I don't know. It's wild because I mean, we had the loveliest relationship, like so sweet and so beautiful, and like really actually very like domestic and kind and lovely. And like, I think that we existed in this like little bubble, and the judgment never really like got into that bubble, which was a miracle and a real testament to us like making that happen. I think that people were mad. They were just, it's almost like the happiness made them mad. Like I would like go to his shows and dance, and people were like, oh, good she.
You slut. You fucking slut. And you're like,
how dare you dance and smile? But you know, like,
well, and you went through a lot. Like even hearing you say like rock bottom, I'm like, for sure we can't ever speak for you publicly or like personally, but publicly, like, it felt like fucking rock bottom.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Don't Worry Darling came out, and you were the most talked about woman in the world, Olivia Wilde. And it wasn't just for the movie.
Oh, I wish it was about the movie.
It was your relationships, your parenting, your looks, and overall really like your morality as a woman.
Yeah.
Now that you've had time, like you're saying, like you're a different person, like when you look back, like what was that time like when the world was just like
fucking bananas? It was so strange. The world was also in a weird place because it was COVID. So like everything was topsy-turvy weird. But I've never felt more disconnected from the person that people were talking about. Like I was like, who are they talking about? Who is that girl? It was also very strange to see complete fiction traded as fact. And it's really funny. I had an assistant at the time who's one of my dear friends, and she was like, man, working for you has really like ruined the tabloids for me, because now I know it's all fake, and I used to really love it, and now I'm like, ugh. But now I know it's not real, because there would be like fake sources, fake stories, because once there's a narrative formed, they are just trying to maintain that narrative, and it has nothing to do with the truth anymore. It is just clickbait that they have to maintain, and it doesn't matter what really happened at all at that point.
The truth does. If anything, they're looking for the better story.
Yeah, it's like, and you could be like, wait a minute, but here's this evidence to the contrary. They're like, excuse me, be quiet, because that does not fit what we've already decided. And
for you, because not even like close to it, but like I've gone through an experience similar. Can you talk to me about the frustration though of seeing essentially a smear campaign being created, and not like you can't come out and dispel every single rumor, because then you look like a fucking crazy lady.
Thing. And it was so hard because I wanted to be like, can I just talk to people? Can I just go and say like, that's not true. And it was like, no, that won't help. And that was really hard. I was also responsible for promoting a movie. I was responsible towards the movie. I was like, it's not about me. It's about this movie that everyone worked so hard to make. And I felt like I was working on behalf of hundreds of people who had worked through COVID to make something really difficult. And I felt frustrated that I couldn't defend myself, but it also felt like, okay, it's not about you. It's not about you. Just get the movie out. And the pummeling that I took was so insanely disproportionate. But I think the thing that I understand, like,
Tell me.
You can get really angry. You can be, and I'm sure you have felt this, you're like, the frustration, you feel so angry. Thing is, like, I get it. Like, shit's hard. The world is insane. And the escapism of the tabloids is something that is, in a way, very soothing for people. It's understandable. And that's such a weird thing that we all are capable of. So I felt this like understanding. I also felt like, oh, no wonder people are filling in the gaps with fiction because they don't have all the information.
No. And so and then they're going to create stories, and it is fun to create crazy stories.
Totally fun.
It also, when you talk about the disproportionate aspect of this, and kind of similar to what we've been talking about as women in this industry and everything we have to go through, your clothing even became a huge topic of conversation during this time. You were trying too hard.
Oh, yeah.
You were attempting to outshine the cast.
Right.
Then you were showing too much skin.
Right.
Then you were copying your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it was like, what do you think was underneath people's like drive and need to take a style choice and use it as an opportunity to essentially judge your entire being and character?
I think that what happens is people become hypersensitive. They're looking for evidence to reinforce the narrative they've already created about you. So if they've decided, because the kind of tabloids have cast you in the soap opera of the tabloids as the villain, that's been determined. And so anything you do, it's like, it'll reinforce that same thing. I mean, again, like, I don't blame people because I understand. I mean, I feel like hurt by it and confused, but I don't know. It, in a way, it was almost like it wasn't me. It's like I think that people just removed the human from it, and it was just like a thing. But I also think, lack of information. Also, I, at the time, I think, didn't understand the value of vulnerability. I think I thought that put a fucking smile on and get out there and put on a beautiful dress and like be Teflon, and that was the way to get through it. I actually think there's value in being vulnerable and just being like, oh, ouch, I don't know, this fucking hurts. And I think that my own attempt to be strong and to kind of like rise above it in a way came off as inauthentic, because people are like, you must be hurting. Why are you pretending to not be hurting? I think that feels inauthentic. And there's almost a sixth sense, like uncanny valley thing where people are like, I sense that you're not showing us your pain, and therefore
our public relationship at the time. And I remember some of the headlines saying, moving on too quickly. She's abandoning her family and her children.
That was
like
bad. That hurt.
How did you feel about being like, how much women are judged, again, disproportionately than the men in those situations when you were reading those headlines?
I remember there was it was Thanksgiving, and we were separated, and I was with the kids because it was my time to be with the kids. Everything was as it should be. Kids were with me, and Jason was photographed with his girlfriend on the beach in like Costa Rica or something. And the press were like, yay for him. Like, he looks so happy, so wonderful. And I was like, if I was away from my children on a national holiday,
you're
frolicking
dead
on a beach, it'd be like, literally just burn her at the stake now.
No, take her out.
Take the kids away from her forever and burn her to the ground.
She should lose custody.
It would have been used in the court of law. It was crazy that, you know, he wasn't doing anything wrong. I knew where he was. He knew where everything was it was my week with the kids. But I was like, what the fuck? And then I would, on my weeks when I wasn't, and I would be, you know, somewhere, people would be like, well, my.
She forgot her kids.
Oh, she forgot her kids. I guess she forgot she's a mom.
The double standard.
Part of our private lives. But of that breakup, like, it's no surprise to me that I ended up making a movie about relationships and the complexity of determining whether a relationship is over, because it is not an overnight process. It's very difficult. And the idea that relationships can come to a place where you become strangers. Like I remember the date because it was my birthday, but this is March 2020, March 10th. And Jason and I had been having a rough time of it for a while. Like we had a real bumpy ride, and we were driving home from my birthday party my friends had, and I said, "Did you give me a birthday present?" And he said, "What would I get you, Olivia? I don't know you." And he wasn't wrong. We didn't know each other anymore. And this is the thing that made me want to make this movie, because one of the things, because you can get to a place in a relationship where you stop engaging in the knowing of each other, in the curiosity about each other, and you find yourself in a place where you're like, I don't even know you. And that was a point. That was when we realized it was over. And it was fucking tough, and it brought us to the place of like, okay, this is done. We're going to end this. And then literally 2 days later was lockdown, COVID.
Oh. You're like, and there is so much that is said about you at all times. And when I was preparing for this interview, I noticed that you had pulled back kind of from the public almost for the past 4 years. Like you haven't done like long form interviews since promoting your last movie that you directed. And I wanted to know, like, how did taking that step back feel, and was it intentional?
Totally intentional. I felt like I needed to get quiet. I needed to hear myself again. There was so much noise, and it was a very unfamiliar thing to me to be thrust into such chaos. It was not my vibe. That was an unfamiliar thing for me. And I was suddenly in a tornado, and I needed to excuse myself from the tornado and just go and get quiet and hear myself and process all of the pain and the lessons that I could find in it. I did a shit ton of therapy. I took it as an opportunity to rebuild myself at this point in my life. And I think there is value to that. There is, it sounds dramatic, but say like, rock bottom is just a place to jump off from. And rock bottom just sounds very dramatic. And I think for me, it was like, it did feel like a destruction, but there is beauty in destruction because you can rebuild. And I needed to take a breather and just think like, wait a minute, what have I learned? Who am I? And how can I accept this humbling as a chance to kind of spend the rest of my life as a person who has grown from this, because I have to have grown from it or else it was for nothing. And I'm a very different person than I was 3 years ago. I think a much better version of myself because I have just taken the time to process it. The thing that I have learned, and I actually did, I learned this from, this sounds so crazy, but after I saw the documentary about Pamela Anderson, I reached out to her and I was like, yo, respect. Just want to say, big fan, respect. And she was aware of some of the shit that I was going through. And she wrote to me and she said, the most rebellious thing you can do is stay soft. Don't let it harden you. And I think that connects to what I was saying before about like staying vulnerable. And I want to tell you, because you are only going to get more and more powerful and successful, and you're going to continue this work, which is so essential. As I was saying, like, don't let them fuck with you. But the unapologetic thing you can misunderstand to mean invulnerable. And I think like staying soft and vulnerable and being comfortable saying like, you guys, that fucking hurts. And that's not real and it's not true. And like, don't feel like you have to stay so strong for us. We know you're strong. It's okay to be soft if you need to.